County Public Library, and today for Library Kitchen, I'm going to be making chocolate cranberry magic bars. So these are a real symphony of flavors and textures, and they are perfect, I think, any time of the year, but they probably lend themselves more to winter because they're a little bit more rich, and they're very easy to make. So the first thing we're going to do is actually make our crust. So I already have my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and our crust is just 3 ingredients. It is 1 cup of butter. We're going to use 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, and then we're going to use 1 1/4 cups of flour. And all we need to do is add those to our large bowl and use a pastry fork or a pastry cutter like this one to put those ingredients down to like pea-sized crumbs. So let's go ahead and do that. There might be 2 sticks of butter, but there's no eggs in this recipe, depending on when you are watching this YouTube video. Eggs have recently become quite expensive, so went with a no egg recipe for this. All right, so that's my 2 sticks of butter. We also need our 1 1/4 cups of flour. And this is just an all-purpose flour. Set that aside. And now we need 1/3 cup of powdered sugar. All right. All right, so then we got everything together. And as I mentioned, our next step is to just use our pastry cutter, and again, you can use a fork or even knives to gather these and kind of smush them down into pea-sized crumbs. And we're preheated. All right, so this is kind of what it's looking like right now. All right, so this is going to be our crust. We're going to take a 9 by 13 inch pan. We're going to make sure we have it greased. I like to use this spray. I think it's easy. And then we're going to add our topping, and we're going to press this down until it's kind of like an even crust, and we're going to bake it for 12 minutes. Right now I'm just spreading it out with my hands. You will get messy. So we've got our nice even layer here, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my oven for 12 minutes at 350 degrees. All right. I'm going to let this bake, and when we come back, we will make the filling that goes on top. All right, I've just pulled my crust out of the oven. Now it's not done yet. We're going to bake some more, but we wanted to get a pre-bake on just the crust. So our next step is where we put all of the delicious toppings, filling on. And so we're just going to scatter those across the top, and we're going to start with 12 ounces, which is a full bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can also use dark chocolate chips if you prefer. And so we're just going to evenly distribute. Our next filling ingredient is 2/3 of a cup of craisins. Those are dried cranberries. You can find them in the dried fruit section. I've even found craisins, if you wanted to maybe update this recipe, I found them that have been like dried with other fruits, craisins and blueberries, for example. So this is just 1/3, and then I'm gonna grab my next third. So a total of 2/3 on craisins. I'm just gonna break up this little clump right here. And again, kind of evenly distribute. Let me show you what we've got so far. Next up on our filling is a 1/2 cup of pecans. Now, pecans are what the recipe that I found this called for. I did not have enough pecans, so this is a mixture of pecans and chopped walnuts. So I'd say use whatever nuts you prefer that you think will be good. And then we want 1.5 cups of shredded coconut. So I just got our Baker's sweetened coconut. This is 1 cup. We want a total of 1.5. So let's get our next half. I'm a big coconut fan. If you are not, this might not be the recipe for you, but I'd say give it a shot. All right, so our next thing to do is actually going to be to pour a can of condensed milk over our toppings. So this is just a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk that I picked up. And we're going to evenly cover . All right, voila. So that is all there really is to it. So we have our crust, we baked our crust, we added our toppings, and then our sweetened condensed milk. And all we have left to do now is to bake for 18 minutes, again at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these in our oven. All right, while those are baking, just an FYI, when these are done, you're going to want to cool them completely before you cut them into bars. And then once they are out of the oven, they are best if they are stored in the refrigerator. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be back in 18 minutes to show you what the bars look like when they're out of the oven. But otherwise, thanks for joining me. All right, our bars are out of the oven. I just need to let them cool. Here is what they look like immediately out of the oven. It smells delicious, very chocolatey, very coconutty. I can't wait to eat them. So thank you for joining me. Again, if you make these, just put them in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat them. But yeah, thanks for joining me and have a great winter.